This is Keza and Tony White with a Heart Healer on Yired FM. It's 11:40, and as promised, it's time for Baby Talk. And with me, firstly, as usual, our parenting coach Mosalagae. Welcome back. Hi.
Good morning.
Oh, and you are in studio. Oh, looking lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a beautiful morning.
It is.
Yes.
It really is. And today we have a lovely guest from La Leche League. I have with me Monica, Adom, as well as Christina Smith, who are La Leche League leaders. Welcome to Wired.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us. I think before we start our conversation, Christina, because you're the first one to pioneer it in Botswana, what is La Leche?
La Leche League is an international organization, so it's all throughout the world, in the developing world and in the developed world. It is a not-for-profit voluntary organization, and it's basically mothers who have a lot of experience with breastfeeding, and they are providing information, encouragement and support to other mothers who want to breastfeed. So the main philosophy is through mothering through breastfeeding.
Wow. Where were you when I was breastfeeding?
Funny enough, I was just saying that 2 years ago, my cousin who's in South Africa sent me a link.
Okay.
This is a Facebook page called La Leche South Africa. So when I was introduced to, I was like, no man, I've seen this name somewhere, and I just told them I used to follow their page, but the South African one, where they share stories and so many guides
Beautiful.
for breastfeeding, right? So, Christina, Monica, why did you choose to be part of La Leche? Just briefly, why the need to bring it to Botswana as well? What gap did you see there that you felt you needed to fill in?
Shall I start?
Yep.
So I've been in Botswana nearly 5 years now. When I first came, I did a lot of breastfeeding work in the United States and also in Europe. And I was actually quite horrified at how difficult it was for mums to breastfeed here. There's a lot of things that happen during the birth and afterwards that actually prevent mums who really want to breastfeed from doing it. And so before I was a La Leche League leader, I'm a breastfeeding counselor.
Okay.
And I also do childbirth preparation and birth and postpartum support. So I started to do that on a voluntary basis. So I'm retired. So I don't charge for anything because I want everybody to be able to access the information and services. And so I started doing that, and then I learned about La Leche League in South Africa. It used to be here in Botswana, but it sort of lapsed for several years. And so I thought, well, let's get it going here. And it took about a year for the training and the accreditation. And then I became a leader, and then this lovely lady here, I'll let her talk.
Hi, Monica.
Hi.
Yes.
So I love breastfeeding. I'm very passionate about it, and I've breastfed both of my boys. The first one is 5, so I breastfed him for almost 2 years, and the current one is also 2, so 2 years. So what I noticed was a lot of moms struggling.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like started with like 4 moms that I was supporting, and then I'm like, why can't I just create a WhatsApp group and have all these moms in the group, and I can share information with them once. And then that grew and grew, and then I found out about La Leche League and how it can train me, because by profession I'm not in the medical field, but I just have experience and passion to see moms breastfeed and help. So then I got in touch with Christina and found that I could get training through the organization, and I can support moms through this. So I have helped so many moms. Yeah.
This is amazing.
How many? You have like 200 people in your WhatsApp group now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All around Botswana, not
Yes.
just in Gaborone.
So when you say breastfeeding work, work? What does that look like briefly, for somebody to understand, saying, we do breastfeeding work?
Okay.
So the first thing is preparation for breastfeeding, because that's where it usually goes wrong the moment of birth. So I like to talk with women and say, here's what you can do to really help make it go right from the very beginning. So that's the first thing, is just talking about that before birth. And then immediately after birth, if there are any issues, encouraging moms to call one-on-one, because the sooner you deal with them, the easier it is. It gets harder and harder and harder to get breastfeeding going the longer you wait after birth. And then so that's just the common problems here are usually babies not latching very well, babies nipple feeding, not breastfeeding, right? And there's multiple reasons for that, mostly because it's one of those traditional things. The babies are wrapped up all in these layers and layers of blankets, and then they can't get close enough to breastfeed properly. And so then they're feeding on the nipple cracks and starts to bleed, and it's painful, and also you're not stimulating the milk supply like that. So those are the kinds of things that are easy. Over the phone, you can just say, get rid of the blankets, baby skin to skin, very close to you, and then you put the blanket over the top of both of you if you're worried about the baby getting cold. So answering questions like that, and then you wanted to say something?
Yes, I also want to add that we also share with moms how to start right. If they do get into labor or they have a C-section, the best way to do is to give the baby the cup instead of the bottle. So there are a few private hospitals here that encourage cup feeding, but there are some that don't. So baby just gets on the bottle and then struggles to get back on the boob. So some of the work we do is help moms to transition back to the boob from a baby who's already used to the bottle.
Now, literally, where were you? Oh, my goodness.
Because this is a real struggle for a lot of moms. I know with my last one, it was a big struggle. Milk took a bit long to let down. I had a C-section. From there, you're just dosed up in drugs. So the whole experience is blurry, and the milk is not coming out, the baby is screaming, you are just in a haze from the drugs, and I don't know, your baby's is in the hands of your nurse at this point. And they usually be like, okay, bring in the formula, which was my experience. They were just like, bring in the formula, and immediately they prepared a bottle. And so my start was a bit rough, although I was very persistent. It was really difficult, because then you're learning how to latch the baby, and they're already used to the shape of a bottle, and it's really, really stressful.
It is.
Do you do one-on-one visits? Do you do it prenatal, or you do it just after the baby's there at home?
How do
you do it?
So usually when we can, we go and see the mom. We try phone call, and then we do video call, and if we can't, we go see you physically. And then we also have meetings once a month where all the moms come, and then we've got everyone there. We then help the babies to latch. And also when moms join the group when they're still pregnant, we send them all the videos, we send them all the information that they need to know and how they need to prepare. And then we also teach them about colostrum, because some moms think that the milk is going to flow like it is from a bottle, but colostrum is just tiny bitty drops, and sometimes it's just 5 milliliters, and it's just a teaspoon. So we teach them how to express that, because sometimes you can't see the milk flowing so fast, you just see the drops. So we show them that it's there, and it takes a bit of persistence and patience to express, because there's also a technique of how to express it. So moms usually just press the nipple, and then they see there's nothing. But when you are pressing the areola, so we teach you exactly where you need to press and exactly where the baby needs to latch, because you might not see anything, but because we've got experience and we know where the breast ducts are, we help the mom to see, and that usually encourages them, and then we just encourage them to feed their baby on demand.
That's beautiful.
You know what? I can't wait for next week as well, because this is just the start. First of all, we were prepared for a different conversation, and I'm very
Right?
and I know both Monica and Christina were expecting the questions I said, but it's
It happens.
And I'm really glad that you're really indulging us, because this is firstly exciting, just out of curiosity, because we've really run out of time. Since the beginning of this journey that you've taken in reviving La Leche in Botswana, what have you seen, or the changes that you've seen between then and now? What are some of the things that bring you joy, especially when helping mothers such as myself and such as her who've probably experienced that, or even if it's just natural birth? What have you experienced?
I think over the 5 years I've been here, I've seen a big change in midwife attitudes. So at the very beginning, I did some births, both public and private hospitals. And the midwife is like, this is my job. Don't tell me how to do my job. I'll take the baby away. It's fine. I'll deal with it. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing that changing more now for the midwife, listening to the mom, what the mom wants, understanding more about how important skin to skin is. Very, very important. That first, if you put the baby skin to skin, immediately the baby's born, and leave him or her quiet, dark, they will crawl to the breast and learn how to breastfeed by themselves. That is the natural thing. And they remember it. Yeah. If you lose that, then they have to sort of learn it, and it takes more time. Yes. So I've seen that change. It's still not quite there. It's not where it needs to be in Botswana yet, but I definitely seen changes in the midwife that I think are very positive.
Monica, just as we wrap it up, for somebody who's listening in and maybe they are at the beginning stages of, that they've just given birth, they are struggling, or maybe they are back home, Botsetse is where they are at, and there's a bit of struggle there, especially with producing milk. I know I struggled with it, and ended up saying, you know what, just for the sake of peace with everybody, I'm just going to do the formula, and that's it. Maybe they're struggling in that sense as well. If somebody wants to reach out to you, maybe have that conversation, or even dad is listening in and saying, hey, I'd really like to understand more to be able to support mommy, where can one find you on social media, or even phone number if there is such a?
Yes, please. They can reach me on my WhatsApp or call me on my phone, 7447-2690. And also just to encourage them that breastfeeding works on a supply and demand basis. So the more you latch the baby, whenever they show any hunger cues, the more the body will create milk. So what we've noticed is that moms put the baby once on the boob and then they're like, I don't have milk. But you have to be persistent, keep latching the baby every 2 hours, every time they show hunger cues, they tell your body what they need. So you trust the baby, trust your body, trust the process.
If somebody ever bewitches me to getting another baby, I'm calling
Monica.
Right?
Could you please repeat your number?
7447-2690.
Okay. There's a message here that came in just to wrap things up. As one of the moms who has been immensely helped by money with breastfeeding, I'm eternally grateful, because without her support, I may have gave up breastfeeding a long time ago. My boy is now 21 months and still breastfeeding, was only on formula for a week when my milk hadn't come in, with my next definitely reaching out to get it right before birth for a much smoother breastfeeding road. Love you, Moni and Christina. That's like if I ever get bewitched, because at this point,
Oh, blessed.
no, it will be bewitched.
Blessed.
Where can one find you, Mosalagae, for parenting
you can call
coach?
me at 78755-937. We have our little mom group called Our Little Village. You can join us there on WhatsApp as well.
It's been such a pleasure having every one of you ladies here. I can't wait for next week Tuesday, where we now get into breastfeeding week and we understand more about breastfeeding and we get to learn and expand our knowledge around breastfeeding. If you have any questions, +26739111066, send them through ahead of time or on our social media platforms everywhere. Send it through. All right, that's how we wrap up Wired for today. It's been such a pleasure. Please be kind to yourself and everyone around you. Trailer featuring Visa with Weight coming up in just a moment, as well as the news at 12, followed by The Good Life with Luhle.